And 1920, 3 million immigrants arrived in ships in Europe.
The text these third graders are reading is more than an interesting social studies lesson. It has been carefully designed to help them become better, more proficient readers.
The bottom deck was often crowded and windowless.
Today, most immigrants to the United States arrive.
Part of a program called QuickReads, this text incorporates the knowledge gained from recent research about the role of text in developing reading skills like vocabulary and comprehension, as well as the important but often overlooked skill of fluency.
Fundamentally, it means accurate reading at particular speeds. The research is fairly clear that how quickly kids read a text and their comprehension, that's very closely related.
Findings from a special study of the 1994 National Assessment of Educational Progress show that fourth graders who scored highest on measures of comprehension were able to read at a rate of at least 130 words per minute. However, only 1/3 of fourth graders achieved that speed, and the slower that students read, the lower their comprehension scores.
Are kids having some reserves cognitively to think about what they're reading? If you're recognizing words so slowly, that means your attention is really focusing on the word recognition.
Dr. Hebert researched the characteristics of texts that have been shown to help students improve their fluency. She discovered that the reading texts commonly used in today's classrooms appear to have little or no effect on fluency development. Consider this example from a recently published basal reader.
Bear in ice to open water. If they made it, they would use the 3 boats to reach the nearest land. Zach studied the unending snow and ice ahead of him. Was it impossible? Each boat was mounted on a sledge.
Sledge. Yeah, good.
Harnesses.
This text contains a high percentage of difficult words like barren, unending, impossible, and harnessed. An analysis of the texts in this series show that such words comprise 40% of the total unique words, and of these, 80% appear only once in a series of lessons. In writing the QuickReads texts, Dr. Hebert first established an appropriate vocabulary for each grade level.
We've chosen a particular grade level curriculum based on the tests that kids are being given, and we determine what vocabularies would account for majority of the words on those tests.
However, the president must work with other leaders to run our nation. Our national government has 3 branches. One branch makes the laws, another branch makes sure that country laws are being followed. The third branch helps us understand these laws.
The QuickReads vocabulary for each grade level is a combination of high-frequency words plus words with readily decodable phonics and syllable patterns. About 98% of the words in QuickReads come from this group of words. Of the remaining 2%, each unique word is repeated, sometimes using variations, an average of 4 times within a topic.
What's unique about the work that we've been doing is bringing the attention again to the role that text has in influencing the rate of kids reading. What we're saying is the number of different words matter. And then within those different words, we want to have those words come from particular groups of words, like the 1,000 most frequent words, for example. Certain bodies of words need to be repeated, and the number of different words in text need to be brought down.
Does QuickReads actually help students improve their fluency? In early studies of the program's effectiveness, students using QuickReads saw their rate of reading rise more quickly than other students.
At normal development, for example in grade 2, you develop about 1.5 words a week. And in our studies, kids have been increasing by 3 words a week.
Though struggling readers see the largest gains, improvement is seen by all students regardless of ability or grade level.
What we're actually doing is closing the gap. The research is actually showing that QuickReads is closing the gap.
The attention to text difficulty is the foundation of the unique QuickReads approach, but QuickReads offers many other advantages as well.
It's the one program that I'm familiar with that takes high-content nonfiction material and gears it toward repeated reading.
QuickReads texts introduce a wide range of topics in science and social studies.
The topics have been very engaging for students. They're describing the world around them that they have a tremendous interest in.
If you don't develop good bodies of background knowledge, you're not going to ever do very well as a reader. We've actually drawn on the national standards in science and social studies to pick the topics.
For kids that have the thirst to learn, there's a lot of information in them, so they never get bored.
Here is one avenue in which we can introduce these children to content they might not get, and this will be very valuable for them as they move into middle school.
They're also a reasonable length for students to read, so asking them to engage in repeated reading, to engage in discussion about the topic is very, very reasonable given the time frame that they have.
Each QuickReads text is the length that a grade-level reader should be able to read in about 1 minute.
We've tried longer pieces of text, but the fluency is a huge problem for them, and so it's nice to have a piece of text that we can work on, and we get a lot out of it, and then we can move on to a different one the next day.
They also, because of the way they are constructed and the way they're written, are geared to success for our students.
Throughout their use of QuickReads, students are aware of their rate of reading and chart their progress over time.
They're used to timing themselves. They try to beat their record. They've learned not to be competitive with each other.
QuickReads also provides teachers with instructional flexibility.
You can make the lesson be a short one, or you can expand it.
Using QuickReads, students and teachers can see success in as little as 15 minutes a day, and QuickReads can serve as the basis for many different kinds of lessons.
The group that I was working with today was very involved with vocabulary study, learning the meanings of words in context. I've also worked with students who are working on decoding, and you can do some really very nice word study activities in which you investigate chunking or suffixes or prefixes.
So they're easily adapted, but yet they have a format that you feel like you know what you're doing. You don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Clearly, administrators and teachers like QuickReads, but what about students? We asked a group of kids to give us their thoughts.
I like it because it helps me read better and a little faster. I like them because they help me improve with words and they help me find out words that I've never known before. It helps us learn things that we haven't learned before.
It talks about animals and rainforests and lots of stuff.
It helps me read better, it helps me get my grades up, and well, that's about it.